Most people fail at meal prep because they overcomplicate it. Let me show you how I do it in the most simple and sustainable way. But before we start, I think I kind of gotta introduce myself because a lot of y'all probably don't know me yet. I'm Jules and I'm documenting my body recomp journey, building strength and muscle on my TikTok and Instagram. And now I'm sitting here because some of y'all asked whether I can dive into the topic of meal prepping, which I'm doing right now. So let's get into it. So quick context, my nutrition journey started all by myself. I've kind of been doing this for years, so I already know a lot of stuff. But I hit a stagnant phase before like February this year. So I decided to work with a coach, and I'll link her down below if you're curious who my coach is. She's called Coach Loaf. Super nice. It's been so much fun and also pretty good progress working with her so far. So I'll link her down below and you can check her out. I also have fixed workout plans through her, so let me know if you're curious on the workout plans. I'm also sharing tips and my routines on my Instagram and TikTok. So if you want more info on that, just drop a comment below or just take a look at my other social media. Let's talk numbers for a second. My current macros are, let me just look over here because I have my laptop sitting right here where I have some notes. 175 grams of protein, 158 grams of carbs, and 95 grams of fat a day. That's like my daily macros, and this puts me around like 2,200 calories a day. Now these are my numbers. This can vary for everybody, also depending on your goal. Macros can always be adjusted, so keep that in mind when I'm talking about this. So the general rule to build muscle mass is to eat between 1.6 to 2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. Carbs are your fuel, especially before your workout, and healthy fats are important too, so make sure to not cut them out. Carbs are not your enemy and healthy fats are also not your enemy, okay? There's a lot of misconceptions about carbs are not your friend and all that stuff, but I think some people in the fitness industry already made content on that and also explain that pretty well. So make sure you research about that as well. Back to the calories. So since I want to drop a little bit of weight, I eat in a slight calorie deficit. Just about like 100 to 200 calories below my maintenance. And if you're wondering what maintenance means, maintenance is the amount of calories that you need to eat to stay at a certain weight. So let's say my maintenance is about like 2,400 calories a day, then I just eat a little bit less in a slight deficit between, like I said, 100 to 200 calories less. So 2,200 calories a day to have a slight deficit and to lose a little bit of weight or body fat depending on your goal. One more thing to macros and calories in general. Weight fluctuations are normal. You're gonna have so many fluctuations during, or at least for me as well, period. Stress is also an indicator or a factor. Your general cycle, water intakes, all of these are reasons why your weight can fluctuate, and it's normal. So many things affect the number on the scale, so you're not doing anything wrong. It's absolutely normal to have these fluctuations. And while we're on the topic of fueling your body, make sure that your water intake is always given. I struggle with that myself. I know water intake is genuinely underestimated because staying hydrated affects so many different aspects. Your energy level, your performance in the gym, your digestion, and even how your body looks from day to day. So if you're constantly dehydrated, that's A, not good for your organs. B, you will mostly feel sluggish. Your workouts will suffer, and you might even confuse thirst for hunger. That happened to me a couple times as well, so it's all okay. It's just info that I'll try to give you. Take this advice, do what you want to do with it. It's just my personal experience. Okay, this was a lot of introduction and talking around some of the topics, but let's come to the main topic, which is meal prepping, like I said. How do I meal prep? First of all, I have an app that I use. Like I said earlier, I have a coach, so she has an app and I'll use the app to make a grocery list. I put all the items I need into the app, or I select the recipes that I have for the week or that I need to meal prep for the next couple of days, and I select the portions, and the app will automatically choose how much I need of what and put that as that into my grocery list. And this is honestly a lifesaver. This is really, really easy, so I don't need to write this list Like, I don't need to calculate how much chicken I need, it would just automatically be done for me. My personal recommendation for an app that I used before I had a coach is called Yazio. It's actually quite similar to the app I'm using now. You can count your calories in there. They have recipes. I mean, also dependent on whether you get the pro version or not, but I think the basic version already has a lot of stuff that you can do if it's still the same. You can track your water intake, you can track your steps or connect it to the health app if you have an iPhone. You can just try it out and see. But that was the app that worked for me. So make sure you have an app where if you want to track your food, I know there's also people that want to eat intuitively, which is totally fine. But if you decide that you want to track, then I'd recommend that you have some sort of app to, you know, make sure that you actually stay on track and keep everything in there. So if I have the grocery list, then I simply just go grocery shopping. I get everything that I need and then I prep either the same day or the day after. I usually prep for 4 days in a row because 1 week sometimes can be too much for me or too long. It's just depending on how I feel really. I either meal prep once a week or twice a week. My like sweet spot is to meal prep around for like 4 days. So that just works for me. But to be giving honest insight, sometimes meal prep is not happening, okay? Sometimes I'm lazy and then I don't meal prep the same day and then I just eat or order food, and this can happen. But what I recommend from personal experience is that you meal prep 1 or 2 days before you know you're gonna run out of your meal prep, because then you can't really let yourself get into a situation where you know, would be here and you don't have food but you're hungry and you gotta eat, that you don't go back to a habit that is maybe bad for you or that doesn't feel well. So make sure you prep your food 1 or 2 days before so you can have a continuous meal prep going on. You know what I mean? It's totally fine if you struggle with meal prepping or eating healthy. It's something that you gotta get used to if you want to. But I guess because you're here, I think you want to meal prep and you're curious. So I enjoy eating healthy food and that's good, but I also sometimes eat a burger and that's okay. It's all about balance. Which brings me to something called the 80-20 rule. And some of y'all might know what it is. For the ones who don't know what it is, I'll explain real quick. It basically means that as long as you're sticking to your plan 80% of the time, the other 20% you're just gonna live your life. I mean, okay, that sounds a bit drastic, but you know what I'm trying to say with this. You maybe went out for dinner, maybe had a week where you ate like trash, or you simply just got sick. Guess what? Your progress is not gonna vanish overnight. Most important part is that you come back to your routine every time and that you're gonna create habits or situations that are making it easier for you to actually stick to your healthy routine. And something that I've learned is also don't stress about a particular day, because one day you might have ate more, the other day you might have ate less. It's about the bigger picture and what you do in these 80%. This is how you make progress and this is how it's working out. And that's also my personal experience. It works. It may not be as quick, I mean, but you know, all we got is time. So might as well do it on your own time, and that's totally fine. Some of you asked where I actually do get my meal prep containers from. I get them off of Amazon, but I'll link them down below in the video description so you can make sure to check that out. Every link, all my social and stuff will all be in the video description. But my general recommendation would be to either get a glass container or something that you can reuse, because we don't want to waste anything. Like, we don't want to have too much waste and also not waste our money. Either make sure you have glass containers. I have glass containers and I also have some other containers that I can wash or put in the dishwasher. The meal prep usually takes me between 2 to 3 hours, depending on the recipes really and how big or complicated the recipe is. But I'm a simple gal. I like simple recipes. I don't like to spend hours in the kitchen. 2 to 3 hours. I'd rather do that twice a week than every day during the week. What does a typical day for me look like with eating meal prep? An example day would be tuna egg white omelet with a fruit salad for breakfast. For lunch I would have butter chicken, and for dinner I would have honey lime marinated chicken with sweet potato. And as a snack I would have some Rice Krispies, or like little rice cakes I think you call them, with a banana, a piece of dark chocolate, and a protein shake. And this is what a typical day looks like. And to be honest, I always stay full. It's never like I feel super hungry or something. This is also something during the journey you will learn. You will not really stay hungry. If you have the right macros And you also don't need to. Like, don't starve yourself. And I cannot stress this enough because this is a mistake that I did at the beginning of my journey. Don't think just because you're eating less, you're gonna lose weight or you're gonna lose weight faster. Actually, it does slow everything down. Eat enough to fuel your body and eat enough to build muscle, especially protein. If you want me to do a full video on macros, then just let me know in the comments and I'll try to make it as understandable as possible. Maybe I can also get into maintenance and stuff more as well. This one is also very underrated, same like hydration, sleep, and recovery. If you train hard and eat well, but you're not sleeping enough, guess what? You're genuinely leaving gains or results on the table. Because sleep is when your body actually repairs and builds muscle. This is also when your hormones regulate. My personal sweet spot is between 6 to 8 hours, but depending how your schedule is, you might be either fine also with 6 or maybe some people can do 5. I don't understand how, but maybe you try to aim for 6 to 8 hours of sleep per night. And I know life can get kind of busy sometimes, guys, but if you really prioritize this, I can't stress this enough, it's really worth it. Because poor sleep also increases craving. It can also make it way harder to stay on track with your nutrition. So if you're doing everything right and you can put your finger on something, maybe check your sleeping pattern, and also maybe you should prioritize sleeping as well, or sleeping enough. Last thing before I wrap it up, how do you actually know meal prepping works or works for you? If you're hitting your protein consistently, that's the biggest one. If you want to build muscle, you notice that your energy levels are staying kind of the same, especially if you hit your workouts at the gym and you can perform. So you know that you're actually fueling yourself. You're spending less time stressing about what you actually want to eat because you already have it prepped. And maybe you're also saving money because you don't have to decide what you want to eat last minute. You have your meal prep at home and you have your set budget a week, or about the same amount of budget every week. And you feel more in control of your routine without it feeling restrictive. So if those things are happening, it's definitely working. Even if the scale doesn't move yet, don't let yourself be confused. I stayed at the same amount of weight for some time and I lost fat and built muscle, and the weight said the same thing. So there's more factors to it than just the scale. I can't emphasize this enough as well. Trust the process and don't look at the scale too much. Weigh yourself maybe like once a week. I weigh myself once a week for my weekly check-in, and that's it. One more practical tip, if you're out and about or you know you're going somewhere, make sure you either pack your meal prep or you're eating something that has similar nutrients or like similar macros. And it doesn't have to be perfect, it can be just good enough, but you know, make sure you're setting yourself up for success and a continuous routine. As long as you stay consistent with your plan, 80% of the time you're gonna be fine. We're not aiming for perfection, we're just aiming for a continuous sustainable process, building sustainable habits, setting ourselves up for success. And with this, we're at the end of this video. This is everything so far that I can say about meal prep. I do have meal prep with me's or how I meal prep on my IG and also on my TikTok, so make sure you check that out as well, because I wanted this video to just be talking about meal prepping more in depth rather than showing you what I meal prep and, you know, like more of a how. So if you found that helpful, make sure you like this video, you subscribe. I'll be posting a lot more about body recomp, my workouts or training in general, workouts in general, nutrition and just life in general. I also post like lifestyle stuff. Make sure to stay up to date. I'm sharing this whole journey with you and I'll see you in the next one. Bye sexy people.
A few moments later.
And why am I so nervous? That's kind of crazy. First video. This is kind of crazy because I never thought I would sit here. My younger version of me was at home recording makeup videos when I was younger. So you know that you're actually fueling. This word is complicated. This is insane, but here we go.